Hey guys, what's happening? I'm Jason Zelda. Just want to take an opportunity now to give you guys some great ideas for WWE 2K18. I really appreciate WWE 2K17. A lot of improvements. Really enjoyed it. As you see here, I've got quite a bit of your product. WWE 14, WWE 2K16, both for the Xbox One and for the PC, and of course WWE 2K17. I also, as you see on this screen here, I didn't buy just one. I bought three. The Goldberg edition, the regular edition, and the NXT. That's how committed a fan I am to your product. Now, what I'd like to see, and there's quite a few of us out here, we love your product and we want it to be better. And we want some new and fresh ideas. We would love to have the most epic wrestling game ever made. And if you're watching this video and you have some ideas that I don't mention from out of this book of ideas that I've been writing down, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. And hopefully 2K will watch it and they'll monitor the comment section and maybe come up with some ideas that I didn't think of. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with this. One of the things that has been bothering us as fans of the 2K wrestling product is the ever repetitive commentary. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler doing the same lines over and over. It appears the commentary is set to trigger when certain wrestling moves take place. So if that wrestling move takes place 20 times in a match, we're going to be hearing that line 20 times. I have a solution that'll bring both money to 2K and give the fans of the product what we want as well. What we've been desiring for years is we just wanted this free flowing commentary, just like Madden has, just like FIFA has, and various other games have free flowing commentary. Now I call it, we would like to have 2K Pro commentary on WWE 2K18. Now what 2K Pro commentary is, it'll be a DLC. And what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for at least, is 2, 3, maybe 4 people that are willing to do commentary, free-flowing commentary, hours and hours and hours of commentary, just like on Madden, where they're not just talking about what happens on the field, but they're also bantering about amongst each other and having fun. We want it to be an experience when we're sitting back watching the game, because what I tend to do, I don't even use the WWE characters for the most part. I create my own characters, my own ring, my own arena, the whole 9 yards, and then I've set everything to computer versus computer and play back the matches and let the matches play while I watch it like I'm watching on TV. I also have a video game stream called Warp Drive Wrestling, twitch.tv/PowerSourceX3. Warp Drive Wrestling. Every once in a while I do a stream, and that's what I stream, WWE 2K Wrestling. It's all computer versus computer. And on my program, what I try to do is I try to bring in like stars and celebrities. So you'll see on my roster people like Adele, Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, and others. I mean, a lot of people that I try to bring in onto the shows that I do. And I thank you, 2K, for giving us the face feature and all that to be able to bring in people's faces and things like that. That's cool. Now, what I want to do is to give you guys some fresh ideas of more stuff to bring in to the game. So the pro commentary is going to be that, where we have people who work for 2K, or you could hire somebody, 2 or 3 or 4 people to come in and do the commentary. I think that'll be a lot of fun and very interesting for us. We don't really care who does the commentary. We don't. The fans out here, we don't care if Jerry the King Lawler or Michael Cole does it. As long as the commentary is fun. As long as it's entertaining, as long as they're calling the right moves and not calling a drop toe hold a drop kick. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. But we want it to be fun and we want it to be entertaining. I call it 2K Pro commentary done by people who are not part of the WWE if they don't have time, because we know they're busy in the WWE with their own product. So bring in somebody who has a passion for wrestling, like we have a passion for wrestling, and let these people do the commentary, and you can make it a DLC. And I promise you, if it's good commentary that works with the game, we will gladly pay DLC prices for it. Just don't overprice it, because I got a couple of other things here that I want to bring in as well that could be brought in as a DLC that we fans have been wanting. Something else I want to add as well, and I call this the 2K entrance music app. We have been asking for the longest time for 2K to give us the freedom to have our own entrance music. I mean, we have our own arena, our own wrestlers, our own belts, our own this and our own that, but we can't come down to our own music. So a solution for that would be this. We already know that 2K has the ability to make apps, because you guys made the face creation app for the phones and all that, so we know you know how to make apps. Why not come out with an app? Because we know that you use the WWise program to do your audio on the game. Why not come out with an app? We'll gladly pay for it. We've been wanting this, just don't overprice it on us, but come out with an app where we can upload a song to the app. The app will then convert it to WWise format and then connect it to our game so that we can put it to whatever wrestlers we want to use that theme. That way you're making money from the sales of the app, and we're getting what we want, which is our own theme songs to come down to the ring to. That might be a great idea. Here's another thing as well. Those of you who saw the Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar match in 2016, it was a short match, but it's a match people are going to be talking about for years. Why? Because of the way it was done. Those of us who saw it on video got a different experience than those who saw it live. Go back and watch the video again. It's all over YouTube. And watch how many times the camera changes. I think I counted over 20 times the camera changed during that one, less than 3-minute match. But the camera helped us tell the story. Not only was Brock Lesnar and Goldberg telling the story in the ring, Brock Lesnar with the facial expressions, Goldberg with the intensity, and the camera catching every moment of it, going back and forth, wide cam, face cam, body cam. They had it all set up. You guys have the contract at 2K to be able to reach the people who do these camera things, find out what the formula is, and bring that into the game. And again, that can be one of those things that can load up in computer versus computer matches. That way, while the match is loading up, it can be loading in also the 2K Pro commentary. It can be loading in also the music from the app. And it can be loading in all the necessary camera angles in order to tell the story. Some of the matches shouldn't start off with just the bell ringing and then just come out and just collide. As you saw with the Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match. That match started off with them coming out and getting in each other's face and talking a little trash. How about bringing that into the game? That'd be cool. And again, you can make the camera thing a DLC, because it's probably going to cost you guys some money to be able to program this. But I know you guys are able to do it. So I want you to remember, even though it's a WWE game, not all of us are WWE fans. Some of us are Japanese wrestling fans. Some of us are Ring of Honor fans. Some of us are fans of different wrestling organizations. But down inside, we are wrestling fans through and through. And the game should focus on the wrestling fan in general, as well as the WWE fan. And I appreciate the fact in WWE 17, they started bringing that into the game. Some stuff for us on the outside to start enjoying the wrestling as well. Because on my streams and when I'm doing things with the game, I rarely ever use a WWE character. Usually I'm using my created characters. So I appreciate you guys hearing me on that one. Let's go to the next one. Speaking of entrances, we need more original entrances. Now here's what I mean by that. We got to step outside the box. Why is it that there's only, a few ways to get to the ring, year after year after year, always the same way? Either you walk to the ring, you run to the ring, you ride the motorcycle to the ring, or you ride the ATV to the ring. And there's far more fun ways of getting to the ring. And remember, it's a video game. You have no limits. There's no limit on what you can do in a video game. So let me give you some fresh ideas of some things that can be brought in. And if you want, you can make this a DLC too. Because if these entrances are cool, I mean effects, pyro, lighting, the whole 9 yards, if it's cool, we'll buy it. Let me give you some quick ideas. How about a Star Trek entrance where your wrestler goes into a back room, steps onto the transporter, and gets teleported to the center of the ring. Once teleported to the center of the ring, he does his little warm-up and gets ready for his match. How about a hoverboard? It doesn't have to be the Back to the Future style hoverboard. There are some people who have invented hoverboards today. Go on to YouTube and check out the guy that set the world record for the longest flight in a homemade hoverboard. It doesn't have to be his design, but I'm sure the people there at 2K can come up with a great idea of a hoverboard that, coming to the ring, you can fly around the crowd a few times and then have it land right there in the center of the ring. He steps off the hoverboard into the ring, and the hoverboard just takes off and goes away, and he warms up for his match. That's pretty cool. Think about it. How about this one? Stepping outside the box. How about taking a subway to the ring? You have the train come down next to the ring, stops, the door comes open, the wrestler steps out onto the apron, steps through the ropes, gets in the ring, the train takes off. He warms up for his match. It's different. No one else has done it. You guys can break the mold. How about the Walking Dead entrance? Have your wrestler come up through the ring like a zombie. How about this one? Stepping outside the box. Parasail to the ring. This will be a tag team entrance where one of the tag team guys are in the boat, the other one's on the parachute in the back. The boat comes down, turns around this way. The guy on the parachute comes down, lands in the ring. The guy in the boat comes on the side, gets off, onto the apron, into the ring. Boat goes away. Everything turns back solid. I'm talking stepping out of the box, original style entrances. Stuff nobody's ever thought about. How about the H1Z1 entrance? How do they start their match? They start their matches by parachuting down to the play area. How about parachuting down to the ring? It can be fun. It can be interesting. It's different. It's something different. Whatever happened to the Kennedy entrance? Kennedy! Microphone comes down. Talks trash before getting the job done. How about this? With the motorcycle entrance, we've been seeing the same motorcycle entrance for years. There's more than one way for a motorcycle to get to the ring. Why does it have to be the same way all the time? Why not have a motorbike and you hit a ramp, boom, go up, do a couple of flips and land in the center of the ring, get off the bike, warm up for your match. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff. Ride a bicycle to the ring. Unicycle, all kinds of great ideas. Some inventions that they have out there. Look into them. Skateboards. There's so many ways of getting to the ring besides the 4 or 5 that we've been limited to for years. And dealing again with the motorcycle. How about giving us the freedom to skin the motorcycle and the ATV? Adding our own logos, our own colors. If we want to have the materials like the metal and the vinyl and all that to make it shine or do whatever we want it to do, why not we have the freedom? Give us the freedom to go in and modify some of these things. Just want you to think about that one. How about title belts? In the past, you could add gems to your title belts, diamonds and rubies and all this. How about bringing that back, as well as adding lights? Adding lights to your belt. Could you imagine doing the Bray Wyatt entrance with your LED belt? Good, that would be awesome, I would think. Stepping outside the box. Giving you guys some new ideas. The default arenas. Raw Arena, SmackDown, NXT, WrestleMania, all of those. Give us the freedom to modify the default arenas. Even if we can't change the name, let us be able to modify what they look like. If we want to take the WrestleMania 12 arena and convert it into something that we would like, give us the freedom to do that. Give us the freedom to go in and change the WrestleMania logo to what we want it to be. That's what we're asking. We don't want our creative juices to be clogged up. Give us the freedom to make changes in the game that we would think would profit us and make our games and shows better. We need more tag team entrances, original tag team entrances. Again, think of the ideas that I mentioned earlier and integrate some of those. Why not two guys in a tag team riding a motorcycle down, each of them having their own motorcycle? Or one on a motorcycle, one on an ATV, or any variation. We need more intergender entrances as well. And we're going to touch on something in a moment. 6-man entrances. Why are we limited to so few entrances for 3-man entrances? When we have the 3-man mode and we have 6-man matches, how come we don't have an option for a 6-man title in exhibition mode? We need a lot more entrances for the 2-man, we're talking original entrances, and the 3-man. And we need some intergender ones as well. It will be really great. In the past, they had it. WWE 14 had intergender entrances. We don't understand why those things were taken out. There's some good things that were in the game that's been taken out that still hasn't been brought back yet. We'd love to see those things brought back, including adding stipulations to your match. We noticed that hasn't been brought back yet. We were hoping to be able to have it back by now, where we can set our own stipulations for what we want our matches to be. That way, we're actually having our own shows where we can set our own stipulations and have things happen the way we want them to be, as if we're the GM and we're the booker, we're making it all happen. But we can't do it without your help, 2K. Here's an idea as well. For created characters, give them the option of being heel or face during the creation process. And here will be the difference. Both heel and face will have access to all the wrestling moves, but for the one that's the heel, they get some special heel-only moves. Because good guys, they don't use heel moves now, do they? No, the heels in the past were known for doing bad things and breaking the rules. So there should be a special group of heel-only moves. And watch some of the old wrestling matches with Andre the Giant and Greg the Hammer Valentine and some of the great heels of the past. And some of the things that they would do in order to get over on the wrestler. Cheating. Foreign objects, all that great stuff. Special list just for the heels. After match antics. Remember the bloodbath with the Brood? Various after match antics should be brought back, as well as in the backstage brawl. Why is it that once the person is knocked out, there's nothing? It just pauses and it's over. There should be a little something there, even if it's the guy just leaving the room or whatever, where he left the guy knocked out, and having some referees come in and tend to the guy that just got beat up or something. But just having the game pause and then it's like, exit or rematch or no, it should have something there. It just sort of leaves something hanging that shouldn't be hanging there. When I saw the trailer for WWE 2K17 and I heard you guys mention old school refs, I got pretty excited because I thought you actually meant old school refs. But when I actually got the game, I found out that these were not old school refs at all. These were just generic guys wearing old school shirts. So let me give you guys some ideas that can possibly add to the game in WWE 2K18 to bring back the concept of a real old school ref. For instance, in the old school, let's say you got put in a sleeper hold. What the old school ref would do is he would go around and he would grab your arm and he would lift that arm up and let it drop down. And if it drops down 3 times, that was the equivalent of you submitting and giving up. It also added drama to the match because you didn't know whether or not that arm was going to drop 1 time, 2 times, 2.5 times, 2 3/4 times. It added much drama and tension to the game. when you had the referee doing that. Also in the old school, let's say somebody got put in a figure 4 submission. The referee would go around to the shoulders because sometimes by the time that finisher got put on, that wrestler's pretty tired and he's going to want to rest that shoulder back on the mat. And once that shoulder goes on the mat, that ref starts counting and he got to try to get that shoulder back up. Again, adding tension to the match. This is old school. This is the old school. We need to bring back some of these things into the game. How about old school managers? Again, we appreciate you having manager role on the game, but the managers did more than just stand at ringside or jump up on the apron to try to break a count or pull the referee out of the ring. These managers were interactive. Interactive, computer control managers is what we'd love to see, as well as, manual control. But like I said, I do computer versus computer. I would love to be able to see the managers actually interactive, like, Mr. Fuji, who would come out and throw salt in your face, or Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart that would use the megaphone, or there's a whole bunch of people and different antics that they would use. You could have it where the guy in the ring can throw his opponent out in front of the ref and then distract the ref so that his manager can do whatever needs to be done and then throw the guy back in the ring, or maybe do the damage and just walk away while the referee has his back turned. Let me talk about run-ins for a minute. The run-in is usually done with the guy coming in, trying to get his finishing move on the guy really quick while the ref has his back turned or the ref is knocked out. And the way it tends to play out on the video game is the run-in turns into a handicap match because the guy stays in the match way too long. Somebody's going to do a run-in. They come in, they try to get their finishing move on, do the damage, and get out of there before the referee realizes what's going on. Let's see here. Don't take anything out of the game. We live in a next generation video game system era. Plenty of processor speed. Many of us have external hard drives. I have plenty of room, plenty of space for whatever you guys want to throw at me. I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to come up with. I'm hoping you'll use these ideas in the game. Don't take anything out of the game that's already in the game. You see, every year you're wanting us to buy your game. So we want our wrestlers to look the same every year. So people get used to seeing this is the guy, this is his outfit, this is what he wears, or this is her outfit, this is what she wears. But if this year an accessory or something is in the game and next year the accessory is gone, now the character is not able to look the same anymore. You got to change the look of the character. And it's a lot of work. It's already a lot of work to put a character together because there's so much that we have to put into the characters. And again, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, please don't take anything out of the game. Just keep adding more stuff to the game. Let's see here. A new feature called Create a Comeback. Give us, the fans, the ability to create our own comeback. If we want to create a variation of the Hogan comeback, give us the ability to do it. Give us the ability to string together moves and taunts and things, from Irish whips to top rope dives to whatever, to make our own comeback. And in order to make it fair, just to make sure nobody strings together like 5 pile drivers and think they're going to get over, adjust the game in such a way that no matter how many moves you string together, it's only going to take out X number of health points. That way nobody's getting over by putting together a whole bunch of power moves and trying to win a match easy. Create a comeback so that we can bring back the Hogan comeback, or maybe we can make a variation of the Hogan comeback where the person hawks up while the other guy's pounding on him. Hogan, the guy Irish whips him to the ropes, and rather than catching him with a boot, maybe catch him with a spear. Maybe catch him with a clothesline or a drop kick. Or maybe when he throws him to the rope, any number of things. And instead of coming off with a leg drop, maybe a flying headbutt, maybe an elbow, maybe a knee drop. It doesn't have to be the exact same move. But we want the ability to create our own comeback. That would be awesome. Awesome feature. You want to make it a DLC so you can make some money off of it? We don't have a problem with that as long as it works. Speaking of that, One of the things that we have an issue with is cutscenes. We're happy. I'm happy the cutscenes are back because they played a major part in the show that I used to do, which I had to stop doing for the most part because of some issues that I was having with the game. And part of the issues I was having was the lack of cutscenes. So we're happy that the cutscenes are back. Now, what we'd like to see is this, and this is very important. We'd like to see more cutscenes. Ringside cutscenes, not just in the ring, but ringside, on the ramp, on the stage, outside the stage, back room, backstage, even outside of the arena cutscenes. Not all the WWE stuff happened inside the building. Sometimes there were storylines that took place outside. Again, step outside the box. Be super creative. Again, I have to say this because one of the most frustrating things that I have with the wrestling series is the number of restrictions that are on the game. I can't understand why there's so many restrictions on the game. Restrictions such as in a particular cutscene, you cannot take out the WWE ref, or you can't take out Paul Heyman, or you can't take out Triple H and Stephanie. Why? What if we wanted one of our own created wrestlers to fill that role? What if we had our own created wrestler as a referee? If we're doing a cutscene that's got a WWE referee, it's done blown the whole thing. Give us the freedom to change the characters. Unlimited. Just put our own characters into that role. That's what I'm asking. Freedom, freedom, freedom to be able to make the creative changes that we want, to make the shows that we want. There's restrictions placed on the clothing. I don't understand this. Why is it that my character can wear a jacket to the ring, but he can't wrestle in that jacket? That doesn't make any sense. It's not going to overwhelm the Xbox One or my PC, I guarantee you that. It's not going to overload the processor by having too much things going on. Why are we restricted? Is the question. Take the chains off of us. Let us have the freedom to make the game that we want, to make the shows that we want. Give us the freedom to be a GM, to step up and say, okay, in this match, Wrestler A is going to wrestle Wrestler B. Around this period, there's going to be a run-in by Wrestler C who's going to interfere in the match. A cutscene kicks in, having that run-in take place as a cutscene. Cutscene ends, the match ends. We can say, okay, player B, Wrestler B ends up winning due to outside interference. Shouldn't we have the freedom to be able to program that kind of thing? Player A, player B, player C comes in, interferes, attacks player A, player B ends up winning due to the outside interference of player C. Let us book the matches and tell how the match is going to be won, how the match is going to be lost. Does the guy who does the run-in come in with a foreign object and hit you with brass knuckles, or hit you with the kendo stick, or does he catch you with his finisher? We want the freedom to be able to do this. It would be so awesome if we were just given the freedom to not only have our own arenas and our own belts and our own this and that, but to have the freedom to literally make our own shows take place the way that we want them to take place. It has been 3 years or so. It's been a long time. And we're still waiting for new match types. The backstage brawl is something that was actually in the older game. So it's not a new feature. It's an old feature that was brought back. It's not new. It's an old feature that was brought back. Fighting in the crowd is a new feature. We're happy for that. But here's some things that we'd like to see. Long overdue, because some of these things were in games earlier, and for some reason they were taken out. Buried alive matches. Now that we can fight in the crowd, buried alive matches. Because the buried alive match started off in the ring, and it ended off back there near the stage area where they had the grave dug, and you got to get the guy into the hole. So now we can fight either up the ramp or you can fight through the crowd back to that area and get it done. The formula should already be there since that game type was already in the game years ago. That formula should already be there. Casket matches. Great casket matches. Mainly when you bring in what I was talking about earlier about interactive managers that will interfere with the match. That would be really good. Ambulance match. Hell in a Cell. Now, here's one of the issues that I have with the Hell in a Cell matches that has been coming out in the last few games. In WWE 2K15, the AI did the Hell in a Cell matches the right way, and there were some epic matches because the AI, remember, I play, and a whole bunch of us out here play computer versus computer while we sit back and watch. In WWE 2K15, the AI actively tried to get you out of the cage, climb the cage, fight you on the cage, break you through the cage, get back down in the ring, beat you up some more, get you outside the ring again, get you back up there again, and take you through the cage. They actively tried to get you out of the cage and get on the cage and fight you. In WWE 2K14, 16, and 17, for the most part, for all the matches that I've seen, the AI barely even tries to get you through the cage. And for the few times that I have seen them break the cage, they just go outside the ring and Irish whip you right back into the cage, rather than climbing the cage and fighting you on top. So here's a couple of ideas. How about a Hell in a Cell match where the match starts on the top of the cage? That way the AI has to fight its way into the cage, and the only way to fight into the cage is to break them through the top of the cage. Once in the cage, maybe they can fight their way back out by breaking the cage. But one of the things that made Hell in a Cell matches great was the fights on top of the cage. Think about that. Starting the match on top of the cage. Here's something new, something different. A wrestling name pronouncer. We live in an age today of text-to-speech. I can talk into my phone and it will write out in real time what I say. How come we couldn't type something into the name for our character and have the computer read off the name that we give our character? That technology has been around for a long time. My main character's name is Magma Key. So I should be able to type in Magma Key, or just type it straight out and have the person or have the computer read it. There's a lot of people out there that would just blow up in a good way if the game could actually say the name of their wrestler. Coming down the aisle, weighing in at this many pounds, boom, there's the name. That would be awesome. That should be easy technology. It's been around for a long time. Text-to-speech, type it in, and it'll read off the name. That way, that whole section that you have there of nicknames and first names and last names, you can get rid of all that. We'll put our own names in. And you can take all the space that was taken up by having all those names and nicknames and use that to add more wrestling stuff to the game. Custom commentators. And see, when you have the created characters with our own arenas and our own belts and our own everything, nothing's more frustrating than looking over there and seeing Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole or JBL. Nothing against you guys, okay? You don't got to give me the clothesline, okay? You don't got to take me out. But if it's created wrestlers in a created arena, if it's our show, shouldn't we have our commentators sitting down at the table where we can choose who's going to be sitting there? They don't have to say anything, just like the ones that are sitting there. They don't have to say anything, but just have them there, interacting. That would be awesome. But I want to give you guys, you guys got to help us out here. We love the cutscenes. We long for more cutscenes, but it's taking forever to load a single cutscene. Now, when a cutscene, usually it's going to be the same people in the same arena. So maybe there should be a temp file or something, maybe a couple of them, where when the cutscenes are made, whatever arena is chosen, whether it's a custom arena or a WWE arena, it's saved in the temp file. So that for the next cutscene, it doesn't have to rebuild that arena all over again. It just goes to the temp file and it's already there. Usually it's going to be the same wrestlers in the cutscenes. So save the wrestlers in the temp file or the cache file so that when the next cutscene is chosen, the wrestler's already made. It just goes to the cache file or temp file and brings them up, and hopefully that would make things faster. But the long load times on the cutscenes, it's hard. It's really hard on us. And also, the cutscenes have no titles. Another thing I would like to see in WWE 2K18, more computer versus computer able matches. For instance, how come we couldn't have a computer versus computer gauntlet match where we get to pick our created character, and if we want, we can pick a whole list of people for them to go up against, and rather than us having to sit there and play it, just put it on computer versus computer and let the computer fight it out while we watch. There's a number of matches. If there's any matches out there that does not allow computer versus computer, I'm appealing to you, 2K. Give us that option that anything can be made computer versus computer so we can just sit back and watch it. Even in the universe mode, creating our own show, the whole 9 yards, give us the freedom to make our entire show the way that we want to make it, adding the stipulations, cutscenes already mixed in, give us the ability to put all of that in there and then be able to hit a button, sit back, and watch the show that we made. That would be awesome. Speaking of hitting the button, when we're creating wrestlers, the attributes section where you got to do all the sliders, could you please make a single button that says press this button to power up everything? It would save us a lot of time. Press this button, everything's automatically powered up to their maximum. That would save us a lot of time. The clothing. I'm thankful in WWE 2K17 that they took all the hairstyles, the male hairstyles and the female hairstyles, and put them all together so that whether you're making a superstar or a lady, you have all the hairstyles to choose from. Now, here's the next step, 2K, and I would love to see this, okay? Take all the tops, both male and female, put them all together. Same thing for the bottoms and the belts, the accessories, the hats, everything. Just put them all together. For male and female, no dividing them, put it all together. So if you're making a superstar and you want to choose something that normally the divas would wear, we can do that. And here's why. We know WWE, even though they're the ones that opened up this Pandora's box by having China fight against Chris Jericho, guy against girl, they might not approve of it happening on the game. So what we'd like to see, and what I'd like to see, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that would like to see this, give us the freedom to create a superstar that resembles a female. And you won't have to do any heavy lifting at all. There's only two things you'd have to do. The first thing, all the clothing, like I say, tops, bottoms, belts, accessories, hats, the whole 9 yards, all of that. Instead of dividing it up where the females get to choose from these and the superstar get to choose from these, just put them all together. So if you're making a superstar, we have all the choices. That's the first thing. That way, if we want to make a superstar that resembles a female, we have all the female clothing to choose from. And the second thing we'd need is a simple slider in the body section in order to turn pecs into more happy things. That's all. That is it. And we'll create the wrestlers. Because what we're doing now, for those of us who still want to have guys versus girls, we're doing the best we can to make best of what we have. But if we already have the hairs, where all the hairs, both male and female, are all together, and you see all the amazing creations that we're able to make now, then I pray that you would open up the door and allow us to have access to all the clothing, whether we're making superstars or ladies, and all the accessories and all the makeups and all the stuff, so that we can make the characters that we want and have the kind of matches that we want. We're appealing to you, 2K. You're the only ones making the game, so you're the only ones we can come to ask about these things. Let's see. I think I'm covering just about everything here. Oh, can't forget this. And I think that's going to be the last thing, too. Let me check here to make sure. Two more things. In the custom arenas, what if we wanted to have an arena that had 3 mini-Trons? Can't do it. What if we wanted to have 5 Titantrons in various different areas of the arena? We can't do that either, because there's restrictions on it. If you put the Titantron out too far, it turns red. You can't put it there. You can't put it here. You can't put it there. I'm not sure if it's going to cause a crashing or something like that, but could we be given an option, if it's possible, to have multiple mini-Trons? That we can put them in various places around our arenas? I mean, some of these mini-Trons have some pretty nice, LED stuff that really make things epic. And the Titantrons, by the way, just occurred to me, the Titantrons. You talk about custom Titantrons. We know you guys uses the Bink program to make your Titantrons. So how about this as another way of making money for you, 2K? The 2K Titantron Maker app, where we can make our own video, upload it to the app, it gets converted to Bink, and then we can have the Bink program in the app choose whether it's being converted for Minitron or Titantron. You can make it a DLC. And trust me, there's a lot of us out here that would love to have custom entrance music, custom Titantron, custom Minitron, more entrances, hooking the thing up like crazy. The money you could make, is there any limit if you simply stepped outside the box? Think outside the box. And we're almost done. And this is the last thing as we close the book. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about this. The tournaments. I couldn't help but laugh, and it wasn't a pleasant laugh. It was a shameful laugh. When I watched the trailer for WWE 2K17, where they were talking about all the features, and they would talk about 1-on-1 and show you all the features, 2-on-2 show you all the features, triple threat show you all the features, the 4-man show you all the features, Royal Rumble, and then it would go to the next page and skip the tournament. And I began to wonder, why do they keep skipping the tournament? Guys, if we have a roster of 100 created wrestlers, why is it that for 1-on-1 matches, the tournament is so small? You can only squeeze in, 8% of your roster into a 1-on-1 tournament? I believe earlier games we could fit far more into a tournament. King of the Ring, for instance. If we can do a King of the Ring match, why not have it more grand, where when you win, you don't just go and sit down in the chair or go and stand in the chair, but maybe you're carried back to the arena on a throne. Something majestic to make it worthwhile. It's like the backstage brawl, where after you got done beating the biscuits out of somebody, it just freezes and it just exit or rematch or... No, it needs to be a little bit something more there. With the tournament, we need more slots in our tournaments. If we're going to have 100 guys, only having 8 slots is not going to cut it. 8% of the roster? That's not going to cut it for single matches. And we'd love to see more kinds of matches. So if you're out there and you're watching this video and you have some ideas for more match types, please put it down there in the comments section. Put it down there so that they can see it, because we long for this WWE 2K to be so epic with the new commentary, new cameras, all the new stuff we're talking about here, new entrances, more entrances, male and female entrances, all the clothings together, the whole 9 yards, everything. This game can be epic. It can really be over the top, the best wrestling game ever. That's what I want to be able to say come this time next year, is that 2K came out with the most epic wrestling game that gives the wrestling fan the freedom to do what they want to do and get it done in the center of the ring. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it took so long, but hopefully this will give you guys at 2K some great ideas. And until next we meet, this has been Power Source Jason Zelda, and I'm tapping out.